In today's video, we're going to talk about how to make a pom-pom with a Pom Pom Maker. You can find these in a lot of different crafting places. This one I purchased at Hobby Lobby. It's kind of different looking. I am somebody that sometimes the pictures don't really do it justice, and so I thought today with this tutorial on how to use Pom Pom Maker, and today we're going to be using this fantastic yarn that has a little bit of glitter to it. I am going to be using it for an upcoming project, and I wanted to use white, so let's start. Most Pom Pom Maker kits that you purchase have multiple sizes in them, so you can see that there's 4 different sizes in the kit that I decided to work with today. I am going to make this size right here. Now, when I first got this, it confused me on how this should work. You'll have them closed. They're these little white hinge things. Just lift that up and open up both sides of your Pom Pom Maker. Now, what you're gonna do is you're going to take, see where these bumps are? You're going to put them on the side over here where there's holes, and you will put those together. So there you go. And then when we're working, you're just going to hold these together as we wrap the yarn around. What I like to do that has worked well for me is I will start with one side, hold that together, and I will take the end of my yarn and I will begin just right there in the middle and hold the tail down, and I'll just start it to wrap around. Okay, just wrap it around and keep wrapping. Make sure it doesn't go over the edge like that. Keep wrapping it around, and you want this to be really good coverage, so I'm going to continue to wrap this around, and you want it pretty snug. The tighter that you get it, the more fibers will be in there, so the fluffier your pom-pom will be. So we're going to keep winding it around and see how we're filling in the spaces right here. Let's keep going around. So you want it to be somewhat even. I'm just going side to side, and just keep going until you fill up that center space, so there's not, it doesn't look like a little C or a arch. Remember to hold it tight. Getting closer. Okay, once you've reached this spot right here, what you're going to do is continue to hold that together, and then you're going to take your yarn and reach over and go across. It doesn't have to be fancy, just make sure that you don't get it on these spots right here. So I'm just going to push it kind of under there, and then I'm going to begin doing the same process where we just wrap around and keeping it snug so you get the most fibers that you can. Now that we've reached this spot, we've filled both sides up, we're going to push this together and lift up those little white things like that, and then you can close it down, which actually captures it, and so you can put that down for a minute, and you need a pair of scissors. With your sharp scissors, you're gonna slice that right there. What you're also gonna need is, I like to give myself a little bit of length like this, so that I will have this to help me tie the center of my pom-pom. So now that I have trimmed that, I'm going to put that out of the way, and I'm going to start here and see where there's a little hole right there. I'm just going to go down the middle of the hole, and I'm just going to start cutting like this. And don't worry, it's going to hold together. And I'm going to continue around to the other side. So now that we have that snipped, you can kind of see where our pom-pom's going to be. So now we need to tie it together the best you can let's put the yarn in between the two pieces and come up on this other side, and you're gonna tie a knot. I like to do a square knot. So it's right over left, pull that down tight, and then left over right, pull that down tight. Some people like to add glue. I don't add glue. Then we'll go over to this other side and do the same thing again. So right over left, and then left over right. Now at this point, I feel pretty confident that that's tied in pretty good. So now we're gonna go back over to where these little lever things are and lift that up and pull that apart. Get these ends down right there and pull that apart like this. And now I can do the same thing with the other side and pull that out like that. And now we have a pom-pom, but this pom-pom has some weird action going on. So what I want to do is I'm going to take and kind of pinch down where it's tied right here, and I'm going to go around with my scissors and I'm going to kind of even out where the yarn is standing out so that all of the length of the fibers are the same. Okay, and then we're gonna go over to this other side because they're kind of standing out a little bit weird. Okay. All right, now that I've trimmed that, I think I'm gonna trim this right here again. You have this super fun pom-pom. And sometimes if you do this, it'll get out that extra fluff. But there you go, there's your pom-pom. And if you just wanted it as a pom-pom, you could trim it down and trim these ends off just to the same length as this other fiber is. But because I'm going to be using it for another project, I want to keep the tail on it. There you go. That is how you use that. And it's the same technique whether you use, it's the same technique whatever size that you use. One thing to consider is when you are making the pom-poms, to make sure that you're using an acrylic yarn. Cotton yarn doesn't get as fluffy as you would want your pom-pom to be. Acrylic yarn is probably the best for this because it gets it nice and fluffy. I sure hope that this is helpful for you if you are trying to learn how to use a Pom Pom Maker. I know there was a learning curve for me. I hope this was helpful for you. So if you liked today's content, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel as I share lots of tutorials, lots of tips, and lots of tricks. Oh, and if you want some ideas, happy crocheting, happy crafting. And I hope this was a help for you. Or happy crapping.